Hello again, this is Ira Whiteside, and we're going to spend about 6 or 7 minutes, and we're going to talk about the process or the methodology I refer to as the information value chain, which is a business-driven approach that really enables a business to understand their data results, but in the context of their business language, their everyday business activity. This is critical, especially with the advent of big data and the massive amount of translations that are required, if you will, the deciphering of data into information. And I truly believe that a business really doesn't care about data, it cares about information. And to that end, we're going to spend a good bit of time working through that over the next several videos. The primary concept that we lay out is the information value chain. That being that we're going to define your business objectives, or understand your business objectives, I should say. Break those into business questions, which you already have. Measure the metrics and dimensions that are required to analyze those. Create mappings with some technology capabilities we're going to discuss. And link that to the actual data. In this case, potentially massive amounts of data with numerous errors, mismappings, and rule violations. These are critical. Understanding and capturing and creating the lineage, the relationship that exists between your business concepts, which is information, and your raw data is really the only way for you to truly understand what's happening in your business. Is it real or imagined? Whether you're preparing for an integration project, a data governance effort, or a machine learning effort, without understanding the initial upfront relationship of the business questions and how they relate to the data today, and being able to quantify and understand and peer into the data is critical. Without that kind of understanding, deep dive forensic analysis, any attempts at machine learning, analytics, or any other project are really fruitless. And it's really a methodology and an approach we haven't used extensively in today's environment. As we look at this, we're going to walk through an example of accomplishing just that. So in this case, we're going to be looking at the increased standard margin by product. And that being the business objective, the business question is, what are our current standard margin dollars for each product? Well, as we take that business question, then obviously what we're going to want to do is begin to understand that. We're going to understand the business's perception, the actual formulas that are existing, and the results that live in the data. How well do those come together? As we look at this, if we take the formula and we graph it out a little, standard margin by product actually is made up of average selling price and standard cost. You'll notice the black box around standard cost, that represents something called an atomic level data element, meaning that it's at its lowest level and there's nothing else involved in that. So you can certainly trust that that physically and really exists. Secondly, average selling price is another calculation, and that's really what the goal of the information value chain is to link and understand what data elements, what terms make up, let's say in this case, average selling price. So you can see standard margin is average selling price divided by standard cost. We then look at average selling price also being made up of net revenue and net units. Net revenue is also consists of derived values, and net unit actually is consisting of atomic data elements. All of this becomes important in knowing what you can change, what you can't change, and whether you have to change it through processes or simply calculations in your analytical stream or within whatever engine you're using to provide your calculation and analytics. So again, as we keep moving, you can see that there's quite a complex mapping here involved in understanding the actual formula, and then of course dropping down beneath that and relating that to specific data elements. So as we move on, the next thing we're going to do as we map those out is make sure we have a clear understanding of that representation in your business language in a spreadsheet that we'll create, that will define the business questions in a linear way and in a worksheet way that we can then relate to and map to data elements. To move to the next level, though, from a business perspective, means that in addition to the metric and the formula, we want to understand how is it organized? What are the hierarchies in your company? The hierarchies represent the actual business flow. They represent how you analyze data. You may ask somebody to check out, hey, my standard margin's off. Let's look at the product categories. Then they might look at areas. Then you might ask about organization. Each of these may be a separate physical task in your environment today. Capturing that information is the key to understanding the analytical process, the drill through that you go through to understand what's happening in your company based on specific results. The next thing you can see is that in addition to understanding the hierarchies and the paths we go down, you're actually going to want to be able to understand how they relate to that average margin. And understanding that is critical. Being able to drop down and drill into the average margin, not only at the high level, at the product category and area level, also understand related entities like size and flavor and how they may fit into the picture is critical. All of this is necessary. It's happening in your business today. The issue is to capture it in a way at a managerial level and be able to drive that through results and spreadsheets into actual viewable results. This is all brought together technically by the process of integrating it into something called a metadata mart, and we'll discuss that in the next video. Thanks.